Well, some of the largest U.S. banks will report their latest results this week. And our next guest believes that the fourth quarter of 2023 could be the earnings trough for the financial sector. For more on his earnings outlook for the financial sector and more, we're joined by Sam Stovall, who's Chief Market Strategist at CFRA. Sam, thanks so much for joining us.
Hello, Jacqueline. Good to talk to you again.
Yeah, you too. So when you're looking at the financial sector, that is the sort of, official or unofficial kickoff of the earnings season, particularly in the U.S., what will you be expecting to hear from some of these big banks?
Well, I think that for the financial sector as a whole, we're expecting about a 9% year-on-year decline. And you are correct that would end up being the steepest decline of the last four quarters, but also the trough likely for this earnings cycle that starting in the first quarter of next year, of 2024, expect to be seeing growth anywhere from 3.5% up to about 15.5%. But if we dig a little bit deeper into the banking area, actually, some of the diversified banks and regional banks still are expecting to see double-digit declines, with diversified banks off about 12% year-on-year, and the regional banks down 30% year-on-year. So I think the question really is, if the bar is set this low, then there certainly is the potential for upside surprises.
In terms of investor reaction, or you mean in terms of what the actual results are?
Both, I would tend to say.
Yeah.
I like to say that rarely can you injure yourself falling out of a basement window. And with the bar set so low, particularly for the banks and for some of the other financial categories, I think that the surprise really is likely to be that these banks come in better than anticipated. And as a result, probably the investors will be feeling that and will be adding to their holdings.
I wonder, too, if you're expecting this decline this quarter, but then looking ahead that there could be improvement. We know with a lot of the results that cross, it's not just necessarily about that quarter. Investors are looking for the guidance that they get from these firms. So could you see the reaction mostly tied, or would you expect to see the reaction from investors mostly tied to that guidance that we would be getting?
Absolutely, because fourth quarter earnings are in the past already. And so also we do know that management always does a very good job of managing expectations. We have had 56 of the last 58 quarters where we saw that the actual results exceeded end of quarter estimates for the S&P 500. And I don't really see this quarter being any different. But the question is, with the S&P expected to show about a 10.5% increase in earnings in 2024 versus about a 1% decline in 2023, prove it. What is going to be the likelihood? What's going to be the driver for this double-digit gain in 2024? And so I think a lot of investors are going to be listening very closely to whatever guidance they can get from companies. And I think their follow-up questions will be digging deeper.
Another sector, Sam, where you're expecting to see earnings decline is energy, and it looks as though you're the most pessimistic about that particular sector. If for this quarter, can you give us your thoughts broadly about the energy sector right now?
Sure. Well, the energy group is one that really has taken it on the chin, mainly because we've been seeing a pretty hefty decline in oil prices. Actually, we saw a 21% decline in West Texas Intermediate oil prices in the final quarter of 2023. That certainly would have pressure on the energy companies. Demand certainly has been reduced. And the worry is, what does that imply for global economic growth? Certainly, the World Bank recently came out with an indication that growth would be very, very weak globally. And our expectation is that in the U.S., we're likely to see sub 2% growth in GDP for 2024. So I think that the good years that the energy companies had a couple of years back, because those earnings growth were so strong, that the comparisons still remain pretty tough.
I want to get in technology as well, because that was such a focus for 2023. What are you thinking for 2024 when it comes to tech?
Well, technology is expected to post about a 6% gain for all of 2023 versus about a 1% decline for the S&P 500. And outperformance is expected in 2024 as well, with about a 16% rise in earnings for that sector as compared with 10.5% for the market as a whole. In addition, we're expecting to see a total of 5 sectors post double-digit earnings increases in 2024. So it's not just tech, but also communication services, consumer discretionary, healthcare, as well as industrials, just eking out a 10.1% rise.